Why do we care if somebody is rude to us? Somebody embarrasses us. Somebody tells us to sit down, be quiet, doesn't return a phone call or a text message, right? Or you let someone into your lane and you don't get that nice little wave, right? How is it someone else's behavior, someone who you may not even know, may never even see again, may not even like, cause us to feel an emotional pain? The answer is because we are wired to love ourselves. We're wired to like ourselves. And if we don't like who we are, then we are going to demand it from other people. Let's sketch out the psychology. There are essentially three forces within a human being. You've got the body, the ego, and the soul. The body wants to do what feels good. The ego wants to do what looks good. Our soul and neshama wants to do what truly is good. So the guf, the body, the ego, the yetzer hara, the soul, and the neshama. The alarm clock goes off in the morning, and they all battle it out. Anytime a person overindulges in the body, eats in excess, excess sleep, excess entertainment, temporarily it feels good. Afterwards, it sort of chips away at your self-respect. And too with the ego. Anytime you buy something you can't afford, make a joke at someone else's expense, do something merely to project an image so other people see you in a certain way, temporarily it feels good. Afterwards, you simply like yourself less. Whenever we sell ourselves out, think of the ego, by the way, as like a projection machine, an image of how you want the rest of the world to see you. And the wider the chasm, the bigger the difference between who you are in this image, the more draining it is. And the job of the ego, the yetzer hara, is to project an image of what you're not, but how you want the world to see you. And when you comport and twist and move away from what's right and responsible in order to accommodate someone else's perception, it's going to chip away at your self-respect. But when we choose to do what's right and responsible, we make a choice that may not feel good, may not look good, but is good. That's how we gain self-esteem. And the more I like me, the less I need for you to like me. Now, all emotionally healthy people like when people like them. There's nothing wrong with that. The question is, what happens if you don't get it? And that's where conflict comes in. That's where arguments come in. That's where relationships deteriorate. Because the degree to which I love me, I don't need for you to love me. Because the truth is, you give love, you give respect. If somebody doesn't have it, what do they have to give? So how somebody treats you has nothing to do with you. How somebody treats you is a reflection of their own self-worth. It speaks volumes of their mental health. It tells us about their character, about their emotional wellness, about how they feel about themselves. Nothing to do with you. As someone once said, your opinion of me has nothing to do with me. We see people the way we need to see them, which means then if somebody is not nice to you, you can take it personally, you can make it about you, but the question is why? Let's say you're driving along and someone cuts you off. Very often we want to see what this person looks like, because who's going to bother you more? A nice little lady driving like this, right, in the way to her own funeral, or a young guy driving with the beer bottle in one hand, cigarette in the other, music blasting, right? Most of us are bothered by the young guy, right? Because we assume the little lady maybe didn't see our car, maybe the dashboard of her own car, who knows, but the young guy did it to me on purpose because he doesn't care. He doesn't respect me, doesn't love me. Rah, rah, rah. You see the insanity of this? You're driving along, then you almost risk your life, speed up to see what the person looks like, to see how angry you should be. Who's the crazy one? But that's what we do. That's what the ego does. It makes everything about me. It's always about me, 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 me. The ego makes everything about us. So Again, how somebody treats you has nothing to do with you unless you make it about you. Any conversation, any situation, any disagreement, focus on the other person, take your eye out of it, that false eye, and you'll have a much more productive, healthier conversation. And in order to take that eye out, it's going to come from being more responsible. Because at the end of the day, we're wired by God to be more responsible, to make better choices. So you can't give somebody self-esteem. That is something we give to ourselves from the quality of our choices. And with the quality of our choices, not only comes enhanced self-esteem, but better relationships.